I'm Andrés Cárdenas. I'm from Colombia. I'm a lawyer. Actually, I've been living here in China 3 years ago, and I'm very happy with this experience. I can tell that my lifestyle in China linked to my EMBA program in Guanghua has been the most important thing I have done as a professional. By that time, I was pursuing or I was looking for a PhD program. And when I started my search, I found this executive MBA, and I said, okay, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a lawyer, I'm in China. If I go to a PhD, it's going to be long hours in a library, just lonely. So I said, okay, let's have the chance to meet new people, to new leaders of the business sector in China. Actually, the first time I heard about Guanghua was years ago. I used to be delegated from the Colombian government to APEC, which is Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation. And in that time, I met the director of macroeconomics from APEC, that this was a very high position in an important international organization. And this woman told me that her dream was to study her PhD in Guanghua. And this was for me as a Latin American guy, the first time I hear about Guanghua, and she explained me, Guanghua is like the most well-known school, business school in Asia. And I said, okay, Guanghua. And I keep it in my mind. And then when I was looking for the programs, I saw this opportunity of being in an international program, but still in Guanghua. So it was very international, but was local, and was not local at any level. It was local as a very high level. And as a professor, obviously I appreciate a lot the academic value of the program, but at the same time has the network and everything. So I said, okay, it's not only about the executive MBA, but it's the executive MBA hosted by Guanghua. I have to mention two classes. One was the class of political economy that we had in Shanghai. This was 4 days, dictated by this professor who holds a PhD from Stanford. He explained us the whole system in China, how things work, and the past, the present, and the future, and give me all the insight I need to understand even how to establish a relation with local governments. Before that class, I didn't realize the importance of how to deal with the public functionaries in the local governments. So for me, it was a big discovery, and I can tell that made all the difference from a business perspective, because I understood the importance of these stakeholders. I'm very lucky that the last module I took, I had negotiation class and crisis management class. And these two classes were amazing for me at this point, because what I'm going to be dealing with in the next few weeks is going to be exactly negotiation with different stakeholders, how to balance interests between, for example, exporters, producers, importers, and then crisis, because let's say Latin America is being in transformation in the last years, and now this was triggered with the COVID. So there's permanent crisis, media crisis, real crisis in the street. Let's say at the beginning I worked with the government. Years ago, I was a negotiator on free trade agreements and bilateral investment treaties. Later on, as a practitioner, I advised foreign companies that were doing business in Colombia, also Colombian companies that they wanted to go to their markets. I advise on trade defense cases. This has to do with tariffs. also international contracts, IP, let's say in general, all what a company needs to a globalization process. Now I was offered by the Colombian government to become the Vice Minister in international trade. I'm going to start in this position 9 of August. And let's say I'm going to be in charge of all the policy making and policy implementation in the international trade and protection of foreign investment in Colombia. So I would have to deal with international negotiations, with negotiations within the different stakeholders of the ecosystem in Colombia. Also, I will be in charge of the binational and multilateral relations, business affairs between Colombia and other countries, including China. Now the challenges has to do more with tariffs, because all countries are getting very protection. They want to protect their economy. So trade defense cases, for example, are starting to raise. So there is going to be a lot of increasing of tariffs. So we have to deal, okay, let's say we have to block some products that are produced abroad, but at the same time we need inputs to do our own transformation. So we have to make a balance between these two extremes. So that is one of the big challenges we would have in the near future. From a positive perspective, let's say this is going to enhance the exchange of services, because now that manufacturers in a way are blocked, this is a great opportunity to explore more the cross-border exchange of services, including, for example, e-commerce. As you can recall, here in China, during SARS in 2003, this was the boom of e-commerce for you. And let's say, at least for Latin America, this is in a way our SARS, because our consumers are started to change their behavior. You know, before they were this population that were not very used to buy through e-commerce, but now even my mom and my dad, that they are in their 17s, they have to. So this is a big opportunity for e-trade, fintech, and all these ecosystems that can be built around this way of shopping and consuming, right? I think after COVID-19, this was like call to China, like China, it's time to assume your leadership in the world. Now, in a way, I think China is showing itself like very proud about its position in the world. And I have noticed how, for example, diplomacy of China has changed in the world. Between Colombia and China, there's huge opportunities. Our president came in 2018, and this was a clear message to China, like inviting China to become a strategic partner of Colombia. And actually, after this meeting, I have attested how relationships are going each time better. Now there are large infrastructure projects under the administration and under the construction of Chinese companies. And also, for example, Colombia last year got permission for the first time to export avocado, which is important for Latin American countries. Before in China you only found avocado from Chile, from Peru, probably Mexico, and now we are like complementing this offer. And I know that for our country it's very important to find permission for beef, and we're going to be working very hard on this. And there is another field that I want to point out, that is software development. Let's say there are a lot of digital economy and digital companies in China that you are looking for developers. The good news is that in Colombia now we are having a new generation of developers, and each time more there's starting to be cooperation and joint ventures between Chinese digital companies and Colombian digital companies too. So I will call you guys to see Colombia not only as a place of fruits and coffee, for example. Obviously we we sell coffee to China, but also you can see, look at Colombia as a source of software development. Yeah, I have to say enjoy a lot from the first day. Do not hesitate in looking for friends, in extending your network through this program, because this is a way of like gaining new friends, but in real life. I mean, it's not about interest. Probably when you are out in the market, you gain a lot of friends every day, but it's just about doing business, you know. But when you are here, it's a real experience. You are doing friends for life. That's one point. Second, I would say try to take all the courses you can in a row, because you never know what is going to happen in the future to your career, and then you are going to end up like doing a lot of efforts to meet all classes. But as I said, the program knows from the beginning that you are an executive and that these changes might happen during your career. At the end, I'm very happy of sharing with you all guys, GK family, about my, let's say, no, I don't know if it's a promotion because I not used to work with the government, but let's say it's an opportunity to be a leader, a general leader in my country. And for me, the experience with the EMBA and the experience in China gave me a lot of insight and, let's say, good foundations to take office in this new position. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be in contact with a lot of you guys, because there is a lot of things to do together in the short future. So many thanks.